Good morning, children. Yesterday we discussed about the complex number. The number of the form a plus ib is called as complex number, where ab are real numbers. The value of I is root minus 1, whereas I square is equals to minus 1. Today we are going to discuss one more topic, one more new concept of the same, that is conjugate of complex number. आज और एक नया definition हम लोग पढ़ेंगे, known as conjugate of complex number. The definition of conjugate of complex number is as follows. Suppose we have a complex number z is equals to a plus ib. Suppose we have a complex number z is equals to a plus ib, then its conjugate is denoted by z dash. We write it as z dash. One may read it as z bar or else z dash. So if z is equals to a plus ib, then its conjugate, that is z dash, is equals to a minus ib. This is what the definition says. If we have z is equals to a plus ib, then its conjugate, that is z dash, is equals to a minus ib. In this you can observe that only the sign of imaginary part is changed. सिर्फ इमेजिनरी पार्ट का साइन जो है चेंज हो गया है. सिंपल एग्जांपल वी हैव, सपोज वी हैव z is equals to 4 plus 3i, so of course z dash or else conjugate of z is equals to 4 minus 3i. मतलब conjugate में सिर्फ इमेजिनरी पार्ट का साइन चेंज हो जाता है. ओके, यहां तक आ गया सबको समझ में. विल टेक वन मोर एग्जांपल. सपोज वी हैव z is equals to 2 minus 3i. So conjugate कितना आएगा? 2 plus 3 है. Suppose we have one more example. Minus 2 minus 4i. तो इसका conjugate लिखेंगे हम लोग. Conjugate of z is equals to, I'll write it somewhere else. इसका conjugate, see carefully. So z conjugate is equals to minus 2 plus 4i. Can you see this? Yes, of course. We have just changed the sign of imaginary part. Here it is minus 4i, so we'll write plus 4i in its conjugate. All of you understood what the definition of conjugate of complex number is? In this, we just change the sign of imaginary part of complex number. Now, one more concept, one more definition is there, that is equality of complex number. Now, what the definition says, two complex numbers are said to be equal if their imaginary parts are equal as well as real parts are also equal. दो complex number तभी equal कहलाएंगे अगर उनका real part as well as imaginary part equal है तो. In simple word, I'll write the definition. Suppose we have two complex numbers z1 and z2. अगर हमारे पास दो complex number है, z1 is equals to a plus ib and z2 is equals to c plus id. We have two complex numbers. Here you can see we have two complex numbers. z1 is equals to z2. It means that अगर z1 और z2 इक्वल है तो उसका मतलब होता है कि रियल पार्ट इज इक्वल्स टू रियल पार्ट, दैट इज a is equals to c, and imaginary part is equals to imaginary part, that is b is equals to d. This is how we can equate the real parts and imaginary parts in case of equal complex numbers. I'll repeat the definition. Two complex numbers are said to be equal if their real parts as well as imaginary parts are equal. Here z1 and z2 are equal. It means that a is equals to c and b is equals to d. This is all about equality of complex numbers. सबको समझ में आ रहा है? We discuss about the conjugate of complex number, in which we just change the sign of imaginary part, and equality of complex number means what? We just equate the real parts as well as imaginary parts. Now, as I told you before, as we have learned a new type of number, that is complex numbers, so of course after these two definitions we'll have to discuss about the algebra of complex number. What it means? It means that how to add two complex numbers, how to find the difference between them, how to multiply two complex numbers. Matlab, in case in terms of complex number, we'll see addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication, and division. Addition, subtraction, scalar multiplication, multiplication, and division. Let us see how to perform those operations on complex number. In case of complex number, दो complex number का addition, subtraction, multiplication, scalar multiplication और division कैसे करते हैं ये अब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. Okay, now let us discuss about the addition first. Suppose we have two complex numbers, say z is equals to 2 plus 3i. I'll address it as z1, and z2 is equals to 4 plus 5i. We have two complex numbers z1 and z2. The value of z1 is 2 plus 3i, whereas z2 is 4 plus 5i. Now let us discuss about the addition first. Addition करेंगे z1 plus z2. Please remember this. We are performing operations on complex number. It means that here we are trying to add two complex number. So of course, अगर एक complex number में दूसरा complex number मिलाया जाए, तो आंसर क्या आएगा? एक complex number ही आएगा. Complex number ही आएगा मतलब a plus ib के फॉर्म में हमें कुछ मिलेगा. We'll get something in the form of a plus ib. Let us see the same. Let us add z1 and z2. So 2 plus 3i plus 4 plus 5i. 2 plus 3i plus 4 plus 5i. I have just enclosed both the numbers separately in a round bracket. Now to add these two, let us open up the bracket. If I open up the bracket, nothing will change. This plus 4 will remain as it is. Similarly, plus 5i will remain as it is. Since bracket open up here. Now, while adding, now 4 terms are there. While adding them, we'll add them respectively. We'll add real number with real number and imaginary number with imaginary number. That is 2 plus 4 is equals to kitna? 6 plus 3i plus 5i, that is 8i. So this is our z1 plus z2 we got 6 plus 8i. z1 में z2 ऐड करने के बाद हमें एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर मिला जिसका रियल पार्ट है 6 एंड इमेजिनरी पार्ट है 8. मतलब दो कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर का एडिशन शुड बी अ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर. Is it right? Let us discuss multiplication now. अभी before multiplication, let us discuss difference now. How to find the difference between two complex number. z1 minus z2 अगर मुझे करना हो, let us subtract z2 from z1. Subtract करने के लिए, to subtract the same, like addition, we'll write both the numbers in round bracket. This is how I have written over here. Now, to subtract, to find the difference between them, let us open up the brackets. That is 2 plus 3i. Because of this minus sign, the sign of both the term will get changed. It means that this plus 4 will become minus 4 and this plus 5i will become minus 5i. Which is nothing but, now see, 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. And 3i minus 5i, that is minus 2i. This is how we got something in the form of a plus ib. We got a complex number at the end. z1 में से z2 को subtract करने के बाद, after subtracting z2 from z1, we got a complex number minus 2 minus 2i. The real part is minus 2 and imaginary part is also minus 2. All of you understood? This is how we can add or subtract any two complex numbers. The addition and subtraction is really very easy. We just enclose the numbers and after adding, before adding them, we just open up the brackets and add the corresponding terms, means real part with real part and imaginary part with imaginary part. Now let us discuss about the scalar multiplication. अभी स्केलर मल्टीप्लिकेशन के बारे में बात करेंगे. The scalar multiplication is also very simple. It means that we can multiply a complex number by any non-zero scalar. Even zero से भी multiply कर सकते हैं. Of course, answer zero ही आएगा. But let us see how to multiply a complex number by a non-zero scalar. Non-zero scalar से कैसे multiply करना है उसके बारे में अभी पढ़ेंगे. Now Z1 and Z2 are given to us, and let us see how to find 4Z1. Now we can find 4Z1 from Z1. Z1 से हम लोग 4Z1 find out कर सकते हैं. We'll multiply Z1 by 4. Now the question is how to multiply. It's very simple. Write 4 outside the bracket and keep Z1 in a round bracket, that is 2 plus 3i. मैंने क्या किया 2 plus 3i को ब्रैकेट में लिखा, ब्रैकेट के बाहर 4 लिखा. यूजुअली जैसे ब्रैकेट के अंदर जो टर्म्स है उनको हम लोग जैसे मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं, the same way we'll multiply both the term by 4. So 4 2s are 8 plus 4 3s are 12i. So if Z1 is equals to 2 plus 3i, then 4Z1 is equals to 8 plus 12i. So 4Z1 हमें कितना मिला 8 plus 12i, in which the real part is 8 and imaginary part is 12. After every operation, after every calculation, whether it is addition, subtraction, multiplication or division, the final answer should be a complex number. Final answer complex number होना चाहिए. Please remember this. यहाँ पे also after multiplying Z1 by 4, Z1 को 4 से multiply करने के बाद the answer which we have got is a complex number only, in which the real part is 8 and imaginary part is 12. All of you understood? Now let us see how to multiply the two complex number, how to find the product of two complex number. दो अलग-अलग complex number का multiplication कैसे किया जाता है इसके बारे में हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. We'll use the same numbers Z1 and Z2. They are already with us. We have Z1 is equals to 2 plus 3i and Z2 is equals to 4 plus 5i. Let us find Z1 into Z2. Z1 को Z2 से multiply करेंगे. What is Z1? It is 2 plus 3i into what is Z2? It is 4 plus 5i. इन दोनों का multiplication हमें करना है. Now to multiply these two, the process is very simple. यूजुअली जैसे दो अलग अलग ब्रैकेट का हम लोग मल्टीप्लिकेशन करते हैं ना, उसी तरह से इन दोनों का मल्टीप्लिकेशन करेंगे. कैसे करना है? We multiply 2 with 4, so 2 4s are 8 plus 2 into 5, that is 2 into 5, that is 10i plus 3 4s are 12, and write this I as it is. And the last 3i into 5i. So 3 into 5 कितना आएगा 15, और I into I, that is I square. What we have done over here, we have simply multiplied these two brackets. Multiplication तो हो गया. We have done with the multiplication. We have multiplied one bracket by another one. But the question is, does it look like a complex number? The answer is no, not at all. We'll have to simplify it more. इसको और simplify करना पड़ेगा so as to get a complex number at the end. Okay? Now, 8 plus 10i plus 12i. Can we add these two? Yes, we can add these two. So 10i plus 12i is equals to 22i plus, write this 15 as it is, and what is the value of I square? In the definition of complex number only, we have seen the value of I square. It is nothing but a minus 1. So this is equals to 8 plus 22i minus 15. Cause of this minus 1, because multiplication of these two is nothing but minus 15. इन दोनों का मल्टीप्लिकेशन minus 15 आएगा. So final answer जो हमें मिलने वाला है वो कितने मिलेगा? 8 minus 15. कितना आएगा 8 minus 15? Yes, it is minus 7 plus 22 I. 8 minus 15 is kitna? Minus 7, and write this plus 22i as it is. It means that at the end we got a complex number. हमें एक complex number मिला in which the real part is minus 7 and imaginary part is plus 22. All of you understood कि multiplication कैसे करते हैं? कि दोनों अलग अलग ब्रैकेट में लिखेंगे, यूजुअल मेथड से मल्टीप्लिकेशन करेंगे, मल्टीप्लिकेशन करने के बाद करस्पॉन्डिंग एलिमेंट का एडिशन या सब्ट्रैक्शन करेंगे और सिंपलीफाई करते करते एट द एंड प्लीज डोंट फॉरगेट द फाइनल आंसर शुड बी अ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर वेयर वी हैव गॉट द कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर एट द एंड व्हिच इज -7 + 22i. हमें एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर मिला यहाँ पे हमें एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर मिला है इन विच द रियल पार्ट इज -7 एंड इमेजिनरी पार्ट इज प्लस 22. सबको समझ में आ गया? अभी तक हम लोगों ने भी डिस्कस अबाउट द एडिशन ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, सब्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर, स्केलर मल्टीप्लिकेशन. नाउ वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड डिवीजन. मल्टीप्लिकेशन तो वी हैव डन विद. नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस अबाउट द डिवीजन ऑफ टू कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर. हाउ टू डिवाइड one complex number by another complex number. Let us see the same using an example. We will use same numbers z1 and z2. We have z1 is equals to 2 plus 3i. We have z2 is equals to 4 plus 5i. Let us divide z1 by z2. z1 को z2 से divide करेंगे. So z1 upon z2 is equals to. Therefore z1 upon z2 is equals to. Write z1 first. It is 2 plus 3i divided by 4 plus 5i. Now to divide this number by this, division is very simple. Please see the process carefully. The process is very simple. Now 2 plus 3i को हम लोग 4 plus 5i से divide कर रहे हैं. So to start with the same, what will we do? We'll multiply numerator and denominator by conjugate of the denominator. I'll repeat. हम लोग क्या करेंगे यहाँ पे? Denominator का जो conjugate है उससे न्यूमरेटर को एज वेल एज डिनोमिनेटर को क्या करेंगे हम लोग? मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. व्हाट इज द कॉन्जुगेट ऑफ द डिनोमिनेटर? इट इज 4 minus 5i upon 4 minus 5i. डिनोमिनेटर का कॉन्जुगेट लिया 4 minus 5i, 4 minus 5i, उससे न्यूमरेटर को मल्टीप्लाई किया एज वेल एज डिनोमिनेटर को मल्टीप्लाई किया. All of you understood the first step? Now in this, such type of multiplication or calculation is very easy. Please let me tell you, such type of multiplication is easy. In this, what do? We just multiply numerator with numerator upon denominator with denominator. मतलब ऐसे टाइप का मल्टीप्लिकेशन बहुत ही सिंपल होता है जिसमें हम लोग न्यूमरेटर को न्यूमरेटर के साथ मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे और डिनोमिनेटर को डिनोमिनेटर के साथ. To multiply the numerators, I have simply written both the numbers in bracket. Let us multiply these two denominators now. Now, before multiplying these two denominators, let me tell you the only difference between these two numbers is of sign only. Here it is plus 5, whereas here it is minus 5. So, in दोनों में difference एक ही है, वो भी sign का. So, here we can use a plus b into a minus b formula. A plus b into a minus b. कितना लिखते हैं हम लोग हमेशा? a square minus b square. If a plus b, a minus b, इनका मल्टीप्लिकेशन हमेशा a square minus b square होता है. तो यहाँ पे भी हम लोग इन दोनों का मल्टीप्लिकेशन करने के लिए we use this formula a square minus b square. A is 4, that is 4 square minus 5i square. Understood? Let us multiply the numerators first. 2 4s are 8 minus 2 5s are 10i. 3 4s are plus 12i minus 15i square divided by 4 का स्क्वायर आएगा 16 minus 5i का स्क्वायर आएगा 25i square. Let's see what happens after simplification. इसको और सिंपलीफाई करेंगे. So this 8 plus 12i minus 10i will become plus 2i. 8 plus 2i. इन दोनों का simplification या calculation आएगा 2i, and this minus 15i square will become plus 15. My statement is, मेरा ये कहना है कि minus 15i square को मैं directly plus 15 लिखूं. Can I write it like this? The answer is yes. Why? Because I square का value होता है -1 and minus 15 into -1 is nothing but plus 15 upon 16 plus 25. Why? Because here also if I put I square is equals to -1, so minus 25 into -1 will become plus 25. So here we have written plus 20. Now let's see what happens after simplification. So 8 plus 15 कितना आएगा? It is 23 plus 2i divided by 16 plus 25 कितना आएगा? It is 41. But still this can't be a final answer. As I told you before, the final answer should be a complex number. Final answer complex number होना चाहिए. So let us write it in the form of a plus ib. I will write it as 23 upon 41 plus 2 upon 41 I. Because 41 is there in the denominator. Okay, and there are two terms in the numerator. So of course this 41 will divide both the terms separately, and here we have done that. We have divided 23 by 41, 2 by 41 into I we have written separately. Now can you see this? Is it in the form of a plus ib? Is it a complex number? Yes, of course it's a complex number. Real part is 23 upon 41 plus imaginary part is 2 upon 41. This is how at the end, after dividing 2 plus 3i by 4 plus 5i, we got a complex number. हमें at the end complex number मिला है. Okay, यहाँ तक सबको समझ में आ गया? Today we discuss about the conjugate of complex numbers in the beginning. Then we discuss about the equality of complex number. और उसके बाद हम लोगों ने आज 5 अलग-अलग टाइप के calculations या operations देखे. That is addition of complex number, subtraction, scalar multiplication and division. Okay, as you know, today due to some technical problems we could not take a live lecture, but maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow we are going to meet live only. So at that time you can ask your difficulties. I am going to repeat the same topic by tomorrow. In next lecture also I am going to teach you the same. But till then I will suggest you to see the video twice so that you will understand these operations clearly. यहाँ तक सबको समझ में आ गया? Okay, next lecture में हम लोग और example solve करेंगे based on these 5 operations. Till then, stay home, stay happy and stay healthy. Bye bye.